right, people. Apologies. I was away in London there for the game on Sunday, and I thought that my next piece of content was going to be a review of the Tottenham game, but it feels kind of wrong to come on and talk about the Tottenham game after what has happened. I'm sure you're all well aware that City have allegedly breached multiple or dozens upon dozens of rules, and there's 100 odd charges, possibly more, City are facing, and there's a trial or some sort of a hearing going to take place, or investigations are going to take place. And I wanted to come on and offer you just my thoughts. I want to make it crystal clear from the off. I don't claim to be knowledgeable on any of this, not in the sense that I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I'm simply just a fan of the club. I go over every single season. I spend hundreds every single season to watch the teams play, to flights, accommodation, all that kind of stuff, and I love doing it. But one thing I don't know about is the legalities and a huge amount about the business side of football, especially this deep. So when that broke yesterday, I just saw so many people suddenly become experts on a situation that I don't think they can be experts on. We're living in a society today where absolutely everybody is an expert on absolutely everything. My overall point is I read and saw the same reports as all of you, but it seems rival fans have, and many journalists who have acted in appalling fashion too since this news broke, have appointed themselves as judge, jury and executioner in the situation. City need to be punished in this fashion. Points deduction, kicked from the Premier League, sent down to the Vanarama Conference League, whatever it's called, strip them of their titles. And I'm sat here saying, who are you to decide how guilty we are? Who are you to decide what punishment we deserve, right? So here's what it is. The Premier League are alleging that we broke all these rules, right? And it is quite coincidental that this dropped in the same week of this white paper thing, something I'm still trying to learn about and understand a bit more. There's obviously plenty of other YouTubers who go in more depth than me on the white paper and even FFP, which I only understand minimally. I'll give you my thoughts on that in a sec, but it's coincidental that this dropped the same week the government were talking about or were going to impose an independent regulator on the Premier League. So is it a case of the Premier League clubs have all panicked and said, no, we can regulate ourselves. Don't bring in an independent regulator. We'll make an example for you. Look, Manchester City, 100 charges. Yeah, look, see, we're just fine. Don't need an independent regulator. It all just seems very coincidental. I don't understand why people are jumping to these conclusions that we deserve the severe punishments that we're potentially facing. I will make it clear as well that if we are found entirely guilty of the majority of these charges or all of these charges, absolutely, whatever consequences are necessary, impose them on us. If we've broken the rules, we've broken the rules. You face the necessary consequences. But my thing is, I don't understand how you guys, or I don't mean you, I mean fans and journalists, can decide that City are guilty here when City have come out with a statement saying we have irrefutable evidence. For those of you who maybe don't understand what irrefutable evidence is, I didn't either. Like I said, I'm no legal expert. I'm not a genius. I'm just a football fan. I looked into it, and it means basically we have non-negotiable evidence to prove our innocence. So you have there were two entities in this debate or in this argument here. The Premier League saying, no, you're in the wrong, you're guilty, and we're going to go to trial and you're going to be punished. And you have another entity, Manchester City, saying, no, we're perfectly innocent. We welcome this investigation. We look forward to clearing our name. Someone is lying. Someone is not telling the truth, and someone is going to come out of this with egg on their face. If City are telling the truth, that they're completely innocent, and this irrefutable evidence, passes, and City's name is cleared, like they said they plan on doing, the Premier League look like absolute idiots, like absolute bozos. You tried to make an example out of City, and all of a sudden the independent regulator conversation becomes a real thing and more likely than it ever has done before. If City are lying, and City who say the irrefutable evidence will clear our name isn't a thing, and we don't have this evidence to back ourselves, why are you lying? Why is Khaldoon lying? Why is the board who made this statement lying? You're lying to the fans. You're giving us false hope that everything is perfectly okay. Now, I went on a show last night, The Big Sticks, plenty of you watch it, and I was asked, if you're found guilty, should you want your board out? Should you want your ownership to go? And basically, I was fired at with a million questions, and I get it. They've probably every right to ask those questions because it's a massively interesting conversation right now. But my initial response was no. I said no because nobody's found guilty. I'm not putting any thought towards the idea of getting rid of board members, towards the idea of getting rid of ownership, because nobody's found guilty. City are adamant that they're innocent. It's going to go to trial. It's going to go to hearing. If they're innocent, innocent. That's it. I'm not going to turn on the board right now before any case has come to a conclusion. This board, this ownership, and the club in the last 10, 15 years have given me memories that will last a lifetime. I'm not going to turn on these people right now because they've allegedly broken rules. And I think that's what most City fans should do, is stick with the club right now and don't let rival fans and really toxic journalists as well, like I said, behaving awfully and trying to spiral this into a big into just fire at City. City are the bad guys. Get rid of City. Don't listen to these people. Back your club. Back the board who have given you so much in recent years. I mean, we've broken FFP apparently. FFP in itself is a machine to stop clubs like Manchester City come along and taking over from the heritage clubs and damaging the historical races of Liverpool versus United or Liverpool versus Arsenal or United versus Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? City aren't one of these traditional big six or top four originally clubs in England. So FFP basically was proposed to us as something that's going to save our clubs from themselves, stop us spending so much money that will go out of business. No, it just meant clubs like City, clubs like say Blackpool, if it happened to them, say Blackpool, they're in the Championship right now. It's to stop them basically getting an owner like Sheikh Mansour who comes in with big cash and changes the fortunes of the club and basically makes them a powerhouse, which they weren't before. It's to maintain and retain the power. It's all about power. It's so that the big heritage clubs can retain the power. That's what FFP has done. In an ideal world, what is wrong with a businessman who has multiple dozens upon dozens of liquid assets around the world in Sheikh Mansour investing into his newest project, which was Manchester City at the time? I think he should have every right to do so, but we're told by FFP, no, you can't do that to protect yourself from yourself. That's just my thoughts, and I'm sure plenty of you will think what I'm saying is absolute nonsense, and if that's the way you feel, that's perfectly fine. Like I stated at the very beginning of this video, I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the world when it comes to FFP, when it comes to Premier League handbooks, when it comes to rules, regulations, and legalities. I'm simply not. I'm not educated enough. I'm not trained on this. I'm just a Manchester City fan who goes to the games, comes home, opens up this camera, and talks to you about what I saw on the pitch, transfers, and all that good stuff, trophies. I can take the banter. I don't mind when the empty had, you have no fans. I enjoy the banter. For those of you who maybe don't support City and you get in my DMs banter me off, you'll probably admit that I enjoy it and I give it back to you, and it's all a good laugh. But I'm just not knowledgeable enough on this to really give you a huge amount of insight. I just wanted to give you my thoughts. So if you think what I'm saying is nonsense, fire away. Let me know down below in the comments. If you're City fans, obviously I can't speak on behalf of you. I would never try to do so. All I will say is just do your best to stick with the board, stick with the club who have given us so much. Everybody is entitled to innocence until proven guilty, even though we're told we're not in this situation for whatever reason. So it is what it is, man. This is going to be dragged out. This is going to take a long, long time, even though some clubs apparently are pushing for this to be done within 3 to 6 months. More hidden, slightly unhidden now agendas. Clearly, they just want City to be off the face of the earth as quick as possible. So this is going to be dragged out. Where does my content leave me in regards to Manchester City? I will more than likely not be giving daily updates on this situation. I know there's some channels doing that, and they're doing a much better job than I ever could. I've watched City Extra. I did a stream with City Extra yesterday, and they're doing loads of streams. They're much better at covering this than I am. I wouldn't be able to offer you any more thought or insight than they have. So if you want the daily updates, I'd probably go and watch them or whoever else is doing so. I will more than likely continue to just do previews, match content, transfer talk, the whole lot. So if you want to get a distraction from this dark grey cloud looming over us right now, that's what I'm going to do for you. If something big happens, I'll probably come on and give my thoughts, but I won't be doing the daily updates or the hourly updates. I just don't feel like I'm equipped to do so. So I hope you understand. I hope you understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from, as someone who just sees what you see. But I'm trying to be fair and balanced. Innocent and proven guilty, a trial will take place. If guilty, we'll deal with the consequences when that time comes, but we're not guilty as of right now. So try and be like that. Like I said, don't be one of those people that jumps to conclusions and acts like a judge, jury, and executioner, and which, from what I can tell, most, or if not all, City fans aren't. So, if you would listen, as always, leave a like on the video. It massively helps. We're about 500 subs now off the big 6K, so it'll be absolutely fantastic to hit that milestone. I'm sorry that there was no Tottenham review. I just felt it would be a bit wrong to cover that right now. Obviously, I'll get back to doing match content, like I said, streams with the lads as well. We were going to go live tonight to talk about Tottenham, but I didn't want to go live and start trying to offer insight and comment on something that I'm just not, my brain ain't big enough. So listen, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I promise you we'll be back this week with the regular content that you all seem to enjoy, and I do always, like I say, appreciate your support. So listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Keep the faith, Blues. Don't let people get you down. Innocent till proven guilty. If guilty, like I said, we'll deal with it when we get there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good night and God bless.
Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you